Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at a bike tour of downtown Detroit. And so I'm just gonna commentate over this and point out some of the key spots and basically anything you see on your screen. So we are starting off, this was on Christmas Eve, so December 24th. Winter had just begun, no snow on the ground here, but we are heading towards downtown Detroit. We are on Michigan Avenue right now, coming in southeast towards downtown. And today it was a cloudy day. I believe it was around like 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So, you know, around maybe 6, 7, or 8 degrees Celsius, something like that. And you'll see right here we have actually a nice bike lane. This is one of the few bike lanes that I really like in the entire city. So at least for this spot, it's pretty good. And you can see there's protection via the parking spots as well. And we are going to take a quick detour off of Michigan Avenue and take a look at that building right there. It's one of my favorites. It is Michigan Central Station, and it is an abandoned train station, essentially, that actually, if you can see, there's construction being done, and it's been abandoned for quite some time, and actually Ford Motor Company is doing some work on it. So we will have to see what comes up of it, but it should be something fun, hopefully, at least. Maybe some businesses in there. I mean, I don't know if the train station is going to come back, but there's going to be some stuff going on in the near future. So that's something to look forward to if you are visiting Detroit or a Detroit resident. And we're just going to go around and ride right across it here. And to the left, there's going to be Roosevelt Park. That park is, I mean, it's mostly just in front of the Michigan Central Station to look pretty. It's one of the parks, I would say, in Detroit that has probably the most homeless population, although today, when I was there was probably only one person there. There's not as much homeless in Detroit as some other cities across the US, but you'll see it here and there. And now we are heading away from Michigan Central Station. You saw there that I had the camera and I put it into the little protector case, waterproof type case thing. I just have it on my bike handle locked in there, and just wanted to show you that to see what I'm dealing with. Maybe I could put a link to it in the description if you are so interested in that. And so now we are heading back towards Michigan Avenue, and you're going to see that this area where we're heading towards is Corktown. It's one of the oldest neighborhoods in Detroit, and it's one of the ones that has actually gotten a lot of revitalization recently. So you'll see that there's going to be new construction and a lot of new stuff coming in. Some gentrification, if you know what that means, is happening here. You'll see a lot of the more trendy restaurants, shops and stuff like that once we get to downtown, and also after we exit downtown. But this is like your hub for, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe just like hipster type stuff. I don't know, something like that. But with that being said, it's interesting, both good and bad, I think, because I would personally like to see a lot of work done on the outer neighborhoods that are still within Detroit city limits, because there's still a lot of work to be done here as we cross over Rosa Parks Boulevard. We are going to get onto some like cobblestone type street here, so that's pretty cool to see. But as I was saying, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in Detroit. What you'll see in this video is a lot of the good of Detroit, a lot of the pretty nice looking areas. There are more nice areas sprinkled throughout the rest of the city as well, but you'll see a lot of abandoned houses in the rest of the city, and it's kind of like that hood type feel, essentially. So I would personally like to see a lot of effort being done instead of, I guess like it makes sense because there's like a lot of money that you can be made, in, especially in downtown, Midtown, and Corktown. And right there is the Corner Ballpark that is the old Detroit Tigers ballpark, now a police athletic league type thing. And also you can do your own events, and I think you can play baseball there still. I mean, there is definitely a field there. But as I was saying, Detroit is known as the Great American Comeback City, so there's been a lot of work done, especially in the last like 10 years in terms of downtown, and that's going to continue. But I would just personally like to see, because I think it would be for the greater good to actually see a lot of more development in areas where that need it more, because you can really raise the quality of livable units and stuff like that by working on those outside neighborhoods. And I think there is a lot of effort in that. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So we continue. You can maybe start to see, if you haven't already, the skyscrapers there. That's going to be downtown, where a lot of the businesses are headquartered. If they are in Metro Detroit, they're most likely going to be there, like Ally Bank, Rocket Mortgage, like Ford, General Motors, of course. They are, it's Motor City for a reason. And before we get there, I'll point it out once we get there, but there's like a rivalry between two Coney Island restaurants, American Coney Island and Lafayette Coney Island, that are right downtown. And it's interesting, there's a lot of Coney Island restaurants throughout, as you see this crazy painted sidewalk, which is pretty much new within probably a month or two before I filmed this video. But the Coney Island restaurants started out originally like Greek influence, Greek food. They've kind of morphed into Greek/American food. So you'll see hot dogs and hamburgers and fries and whatnot. The Detroit signature dog is a Coney dog, which is like a hot dog with like chili and onions and stuff like that. So I'll point that out once we get there. And we are coming up on the first skyscraper coming up. There also are a lot of development in terms of new skyscrapers. I'm not sure what they're for exactly, but you'll see we did pass like a new hotel, I think, that was on the right. And yeah, you'll just see a lot of new stuff, especially in this area, whereas the rest of the city you'll see maybe less new stuff, but there are definitely still good areas, and I would love to do videos on those other areas and specific neighborhoods throughout the city. This is just something to get us started with, because if you are going to be like visiting Detroit and stuff like that, you're most likely going to spend a majority of your time in downtown, because there is so much things to do and places to see and stuff like that. So let's continue on. On the left there, that's a Detroit bus, if you want to see what that looks like. And then coming up on the left here, that's going to be the transit hub for Detroit. And if you're going out of the city, like on maybe a Greyhound bus or an Amtrak train, I'm pretty sure that's where the Amtrak is, but definitely the Greyhound buses. So if you're taking public transportation out of the city, that's going to be where you start from. And you'll also see like the scooters on the side there. There's rentable bikes, so you can get around the city, and especially like downtown. You can just go around, rent a bike for a little bit, or rent a scooter or whatnot, and just speed your way around. You'll see a couple more public transportation options. Once we get there, I'll point them out. but you got those scooters and stuff like that, which honestly I want to try. If I was visiting Detroit, that's probably something I would use, especially to go along like the Detroit River and do that Riverwalk as a bike path. And so right here on the right is going to be the Coney Island restaurants. There's American Coney, you can see right there. And I do also want to point out that the car in front of us is going to actually have a Florida license plate. And surprisingly enough, aside from Michigan license plate, the most common license plate I've seen in my time here is the Florida one. And it's by a lot, honestly. So take with what you will with that data. The third one after Michigan and Florida, I would say, would be Ohio, which makes a little bit more sense. Ohio is the next state south of here. So, but surprisingly, Florida actually has a lot. So I'm going to try and merge here. So this is kind of a roundabout in the basically the core, the absolute center of downtown. And to the left is going to be Campus Martius Park. And you're going to see that there is an ice rink that you can go on and skate on in the winter months. And I'm pretty sure maybe a little bit of fall, maybe some spring, but definitely in the winter. And you'll see some like Christmas decorations because it is Christmas Eve at this point. You know, just a little festive vibe here in downtown Detroit for the holiday season. So I'm going to stop here in a second and peek over the fence. That was the Christmas tree on the left. Didn't really get a good look at that. So sorry about that, but I will take a peek at the ice rink. So there it is. You got some more Christmas trees, and take a look there. So now we have Monroe Street, basically, and on the left there is Buffalo Wild Wings. Now we're heading into Greektown. So we talked about Greek food influence with the Coney Island restaurants, but now we're going to talk about Greektown, where ahead on the right, I'll point it out, is going to be the oldest casino in Detroit. There's a couple casinos here, and that's going to be Greektown Casino. You'll see a little bit of art here and there for sure in Detroit. That is pretty common. And this is just like a narrow street with, you know, some more restaurants, stuff for you to do and whatnot. There is going to be a Five Guys in about like 5 seconds here, and there's a Cold Stone right next to it, but also more like local restaurants that you can dine in. And you'll see actually up top, that is a railway kind of, where you can go up these stairs here that I'm going under, and it's an automatic electric train kind of. It's called the Detroit People Mover, and it will take you to spots around downtown Detroit in a little loop. So I took a look there. Across the street there, that's where you can enter the casino, because right in front of us is the casino, Greektown Casino. And you can actually, there's a couple like skywalks, I guess you might call them. Basically the indoor, like where you can walk from building to building while still being indoors. It goes above the street and whatnot. A lot of those in Minneapolis, but there is a couple in this area. And so now we did take a right, and we are now heading towards the river. So this is south. So the southernmost portion of downtown is going to be the Detroit River, and that's where we are heading. We're going to take a slight detour and a left at some point to actually go down Larned Street. So now you see I'm getting on the street and about to turn left at the next signal here. You can see the Detroit People Mover. It goes above everyone on the and above the streets and whatnot, and you can just see it right here to your top left. So now we are heading to the eastern half of downtown Detroit. We're not really going to see any sort of things in terms of like attractions this way until we head back towards the river. So we're just going to use this as a way to head towards a greenway. Actually, it's called Dequindre Cut, I think is how it's pronounced. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it's a about 3 mile long greenway, which is essentially a path for bikes and for people to walk where there are no cars. It's away from the street and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. I would like to see more of those. There's actually one being built in Detroit that's going to go around the whole city. So it's going to be 26 miles long, which is kind of crazy, honestly. But that's going to take like a decade to build at least. So let's continue on here. Larned, this is parallel with the Detroit River and also parallel with Jefferson Avenue, which would be to our right. We'll eventually get there. Rivertown Market on the right here by Meyer. If you know, if you've been in the Midwest and you've lived there, maybe you know all about Meyer. But they have a specialty, some sort of specialty grocery store. I guess it's pretty busy. It's pretty popular. I'm not sure exactly what's so special about it and why it's not just called Meyer. But there's something about it. It's pretty new, I think. A little bit more green space in this area. We're going to be coming up onto the Greenway. Right now, we just passed a Ford dealership, car dealership. Henry Ford, his hometown was in Dearborn, Michigan, which is just southwest of Detroit. And, you know, obviously Detroit's known as the Motor City. That's probably, if you know one thing about Detroit, that's probably it right there. And so at this point, I was kind of confused how to get on the Greenway because I saw it below us. It's right below us there. But I didn't actually know how to get down there. So now I'm heading, I believe this is St. Aubin, and now we're going to try and turn right once we cross the street onto Jefferson. This is Jefferson Avenue. It's probably one of my favorite parts of Detroit, just to go there, especially in the summer, like when the breeze of the Detroit River is like hitting your face and you're going down the street there. It's pretty cool. Literally cool with the wind in your face. But let's take a little loop around to, this is Orleans Street, I'm pretty sure. And then we'll take another left, and then we'll be at the Greenway right in front of us. Let me know in the comments if you want to see anything specific about Detroit. I do want to do more videos on the city of Detroit and, you know, do via bike tour and stuff like that. So let me know in the comments if you have any specific spots you want to see. Here is the northern part of the bike path. We got some exercise equipment, stuff like that. And now we're going to head south towards the Detroit River. Honestly, these houses, like right here, pretty cool because you walk right out front. You got a little bike path here. You got a path to do your exercise, to do whatever you need to do in terms of physical activity. That's pretty cool. These are, I mean, Detroit has overall like cheap housing, but anything you see in this video is probably super outrageously expensive. Because downtown is that hub of the entire metro area, and it's one of the largest metro areas in the entire United States. And there's so many things to do, and it's just really even got a revitalization in the past, 5-10 years. So that's driven up prices. Actually, on the right here is the Outdoor Adventure Center, which I didn't realize it when I was passing by, but you could do like simulation type things of like outdoor activities, and you can do them inside. It's a bit more friendly if you can't actually make it to like doing stuff like ATVing or kayaking, stuff like that. You could do that inside, so that's kind of fun for the family. Maybe an interesting spot. I'm not sure if I will go there, but it's definitely on my list if I'm willing to spend money, And now we have the Detroit River right here in front of us. We got a lighthouse to the left there. And actually across the river on the other side is Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And so, yes, Detroit is the largest city on the border between the US and Canada. And it's, fun fact, it's actually south of Detroit. So Canada, you think Canada is the Great North, it is, but it's actually south of Detroit. So here's a little panoramic view. And then once we get out of this little park here, we will go on to the main stretch of the Detroit Riverwalk. And if you are enjoying this video, it's pretty fun, honestly, just recording, especially like, this is like this is the best downtown I've ever visited, with limited options, of course, but it's a pretty cool place and one of the best and premier places, I guess, in the entire Midwest, and if not the entire United States. The Riverwalk is actually rated #1 in the entire country. So Detroit has a lot of stuff going for it, and I think there's a lot of improvement pretty rapidly, I think, in the next few years as well. I did see like a couple bikers and joggers and stuff like that taking a little stroll in this area. So this part on the left, I'm not sure if it's an extension to the park we just saw, but something's going in there. Probably nature related, since it is right here on the river. So now this part is going to be where the main stretch of the Riverwalk is, and we'll ride down, not all of it, but a good chunk of it here, and head back to, I guess, the center of downtown. And there I am making a guest appearance. And those over there, I think one of those is a Caesar's Palace in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And that's a casino. And there's a couple casinos over there, a couple casinos on the Detroit side. So if you're into casinos, then, well, Detroit is definitely a spot for you. You can do while you're here. That building right up there, the big one, the one with the red lights on it, is the GM Renaissance Center, General Motors headquarters. And I'm kind of interested. I don't know exactly what's in there. I know there's like an observation deck. I know there's restaurants, shops, stuff like that. Also some like cars to see in there, of course, because it's General Motors. But that's one of the handful of things that I'm kind of intrigued of to do pretty soon here in Detroit. And here's a carousel on the left. Gotta love that. And this is basically I guess not quite, but once we pass the GM Renaissance Center, we'll be right towards the middle of the Riverwalk. And you'll see like these red emergency things, so if there's ever some sort of accident, you can just buzz in or something like that and get some help. During the summer, like this place will be packed. I think spring and fall as well, it's pretty packed. But here in the winter months, it's not quite as packed. So depending on if you wanted to come here in the winter, obviously it's going to be pretty cold, but not going to be as many people. Actually, the first time I went here, it was in the warmer months, and I couldn't really even ride my bike through it. I had to just walk my bike just because I couldn't really weave around all the people. So here's a look at the GM Renaissance Center. It's actually pretty cool at night as well, because it has red and blue lights. You got a ferry boat here. Take a look at that. I guess maybe you can take some ferry rides. I'm not sure exactly. There is Windsor across the water. And there is Ally headquarters and some more like big business headquarters there. And now we head back north towards the center of downtown. This is actually the Wayne County building here on the right, which I didn't even notice, honestly. When I first passed it, I was like, didn't actually see it until I was looking at the recorded footage, and I was like, oh, wait, what is this building? This looks pretty cool. But like I was saying, if you want to come in the warmer months, obviously you're gonna be able to do more outdoor activities, and not have to worry about any like snow maybe getting in your way. But there's also cool activities to do in the snow as well, so it's up to you. And here we're back at Buffalo Wild Wings. And now we're gonna hit him with a crossover to actually weave through the scooters there. Broken ankles, if I'm being honest. But now we're gonna head to a few more attractions and then we'll head out from downtown. So here on the right is actually a little Detroit sign, the lettering there. You can see a little bit more construction going on, and we are going to make our way right. And this is heading northeast away from downtown. So this is, I believe it's pronounced Gratiot or Gratiot or something like that. Gratiot. It's one of the main roads that's gonna go out from the center of Detroit that will head all the way to like the suburbs and stuff like that. You have on the west side, you got Michigan Avenue, Grand River Avenue, Fort Street, and then on the east side, you got like Jefferson Avenue and Gratiot, or maybe it's not pronounced Gratiot because that sounds weird, but it's some sort of word. Let me know in the comments because I have no clue. Anyways, if you are enjoying the video, feel free to hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I do live in Detroit, so I'll definitely be doing some more content in Detroit and all about Detroit and the surrounding areas here. But also, when I do travel to other places, I would be more than happy to, and probably enjoy even, doing some recording in some other cities. So if you're interested and you like what you see here, feel free, subscribe, share it with a friend, and let me know once we're done here. Like, has your perception maybe changed a little bit watching some of the footage here about Detroit? Let me know in the comments. So now we're here at a sports stadium. It is Ford Field, home of the Detroit Lions here on the left. And actually, there's 3 sports stadiums / arenas within like a couple streets of each other. We'll get around as we ride down the side of Ford Field. We'll go to also the Comerica Park, which is the home of the Detroit Tigers for baseball. And then also teams here like NHL, Detroit Red Wings for hockey, and then NBA, which is basketball, the Detroit Pistons. So to the right is like a freeway, and I'm just going around Ford Field. I'm going to show you the main entrance here in just a moment, but right across the street right there is Comerica Park. And we got to do a little bit more weaving through the concrete here. But Ford Field, it's a dome, and you'll see in a second there's like an advertisement for one of the bowl games, probably the only bowl game I would guess that happened here back in probably around the first day of January. But here is the main entrance, driven by Detroit. Let's go. So now we will make our way down the side of Comerica Park, take a peek in there, show you a couple of the sculptures, I guess statues, around the front and side parts, just to, see what it's like in downtown Detroit. Boom, we got the Tigers protecting the park. And the other stadium is actually going to be Little Caesars Arena for the both basketball and hockey. And so that's not quite right next to it like these two are, but it's about one street over and like a half mile down the road. So not very far. Definitely all of them are within walking distance of each other. And pretty quickly, honestly. There's another tiger. Pretty cool looking statue there. And now we will head towards Woodward Avenue. So Woodward Avenue is going to be the dividing street between the west and east side of the city, which is what you'll see in front of us. That's Woodward Avenue, and we're going to take a right and go up away from downtown Detroit. And in front of us here is actually one of the historic Fox theaters. So you got some theatrics going on here. And there's pretty much, you got the sports we saw, we got outdoor activities you saw, some indoor cool things. There's also museums, which I'm not going to show in this video. Music is huge in Detroit, so art, there's stuff for everyone, I guess. I don't know what people do for fun, but there's definitely a lot to do here. Just wanted to take a peek at this church here as well, because it caught my eyes. Looks pretty cool. But there you go, on the left, Little Caesars Arena. And on the right here, you got some pretty neat houses. I was surprised that you just walk out your front door, you're at Little Caesars Arena. You can walk to the other stadiums as well. It's pretty dang cool. And to the left of Little Caesars, you can see a little Google, I guess it's maybe some sort of workspace or something like that. I don't know. But something set up by Google. I just drove up here. This is where you can wait for the Q line, which is the streetcar that runs down Woodward Avenue, both north and south a little bit, which is the only, besides buses and the people mover, that is the only form of transportation aside from those. And honestly, it's pretty cool. We'll show it here in a second because we're going to actually catch it going by. But now we're going to the Little Caesars Arena side here. Take a look at the front once we get there. But honestly, I'd like to see some more streetcars going down some of those main roads and like help people get to the downtown core from maybe the suburbs or something like that. That would be pretty neat, I think. Pretty cheap and efficient way to do some transportation in Detroit. And here I did catch the Q line, so here it is. Boom, right there. I haven't ridden it yet, but it looks pretty dang cool. In terms of transportation as well, you see some of the bikes you can rent here, but some better bike paths and stuff like that, that would definitely make the stock of Detroit go up for sure. But now we are heading north away from downtown into Midtown, which is kind of just like downtown, except you won't see the skyscrapers. And so it has all like the trendy restaurants and shopping and stuff like that. And it's a spot to hang out, I guess. I don't know what people do, but it's another one of those areas that is revitalized and stuff like that. So, and you also see in Midtown is actually Wayne State University. So that's the largest university in the city of Detroit itself. And you might see a couple like buildings that are maybe the gymnasium for Wayne State or some sort of common hall or something like that on this trip as well. So we are almost done with this trip here. We've got probably 4 minutes remaining, something like that. And we're going to just go all the way on Woodward until we get to Warren Avenue, which is an east-west street. And then we'll pretty much be done there. So I don't know, what did you like what you saw here? Would you consider visiting Detroit? Is that something that maybe wasn't on your radar that is on your radar now? Or if you're someone who travels, have you been to Detroit? Well, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Maybe I missed some things, and maybe you're from Detroit, you know a lot about it, and so maybe I missed a couple things on this trip that are pretty cool to do in downtown Detroit. It's obviously not an exhaustive list of things. I just went, I just talked about really what I saw in the area and try to give a little bit of more context throughout. Honestly, I've liked Detroit so far with my time here. It's a really interesting city, and I think some of the interesting parts about it are the uniqueness of the different neighborhoods, because you'll see downtown, midtown, like this revitalized area, but then you'll also see some of the older neighborhoods that are still going strong. And overall, there are definitely like abandoned buildings and stuff like that. I didn't actually get a chance because my camera lost its battery power, but if I did have more battery power, I would definitely have filmed, some of the way back on Warren Avenue. But I just really want to show like what Detroit truly is, because it's not quite as good as maybe this video made it seem, but it's not quite as bad as like what you'll hear, because the media perception of it and what you'll see, the stereotypes and stuff like that, it's never going to be 100% correct. You really just have to see something for yourself and make decisions for yourself to understand, like, okay, is this actually a good place? Is there something worth visiting here? Yeah, so I just want to showcase, what the city has to offer. And if you want to see some of that too, then be sure, subscribe, and we'll get on to the next video after this. If you want to see some more maybe photos and stuff like that, you can check out my Instagram. The link will be in the description. And with that being said, I'll let it ride out here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time. Peace out, my friends.